All right, everyone, welcome to our first Lambda School Demo Day. Really excited to bring you here. We've got Austin to welcome you all.
Hi, I'm Austin Allred, the CEO and co-founder of Lambda School, and we're incredibly excited to welcome you out to our first demo day. When these students first started 6 months ago, Lambda School was just myself and my co-founder, a couple dozen students in one Slack channel. Now we're over 20 full-time employees across admissions, instruction, and operation, with over 200 students in 8 full-time cohorts. So these students have seen and been through a lot. They've experienced our growing pains along with us, and they have worked incredibly hard to build a skill set in web development and computer science that will be compelling to all of you, the employers. And with that, we'll pass it off to our VP of Instruction, Caleb Hicks.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Austin. Our students learn a lot in their 6 months of coursework at Lambda School. They start with a foundation in HTML and CSS. They get heavy into JavaScript. They dig into the MERN stack with MongoDB, Express, React, Node, and Redux. And after taking a week to build a personal project, students come back for the second semester of class to dig into the fundamentals of computer science that you'd learn in a 4-year program, including computer architecture, algorithms and data structures, and operating systems. But most of all, when the students finish the CS portion of our course, they've learned how to learn. Students finish the course learning about team workflows, agile development practices, and user experience design by choosing, designing, and building a team capstone project. These team capstone projects are what we'd like to show you today. Mixed with the team capstone project demos, we'll also highlight some of the solo projects and internships that our students have completed during their time. Let's get to the projects. First, we have Open House.
Hi, my name is Antonio Melendez.
Hello, I'm Julian Pegues.
I'm Jake Cooley.
And I'm Javon Melendez.
Together, we built Open House, a simple app for real estate agents to host open house events and generate leads from potential homebuyers.
We started building Open House because we were approached by the team at Inside Real Estate. They needed to build this app, but they didn't have the engineering resources, so they contracted us to build it for them.
We built the mobile app using React Native. We use Redux for state management, Node.js for the backend, and MongoDB for the database. We followed a Kanban flow to coordinate our group efforts.
As we demo the project, you'll see how a user will use key features in the product and what we focused on.
The real estate agent will log in, where they're able to view past open houses. They're able to create a new open house by entering an MLS number. They'll be able to pull up the MLS number and confirm if they got the right MLS number they were looking for.
The real estate agent chooses a few questions they want from the home buyer. Then the agent selects what they want to display for the open house. The agent can add hashtags to make it easier for the agent to search terms related to the open house.
This is where the real estate agent previews the sign-up form they just made. Once they confirm it, it'll prompt them to create a PIN number. This is a security feature to prevent an open house guest from accessing private information. This is where the open house guest enters the information. The guest will check in and they receive a confirmation once they have submitted their form. And once they want to leave a page, it will again prompt them for their PIN number the real estate agent created earlier.
The real estate agent can now look at the guest information record and use this information to contact prospective home buyers. One of our major responsibilities on the project was building the user interface.
Nailing the user interface was critical because it contributes to the user experience, and it was important to the client to get the application pixel perfect.
One of the challenges we ran into while building this app was styling with React Native. We had to learn Flexbox in order to solve styling issues. Another challenge was debugging Redux in the React Native environment. We solved that by adding a package to debug the project, and we also found an external application that debugs Redux and React Native.
With more time, we would continue to improve styling with focus on the image view part of the project by making the images more responsive. Thanks for taking the time to watch our demo.
All right, so as part of that open house group, we have Antonio, Jake, Giovan, and Julian. And want to ask a couple of quick questions. First question I'd like to ask about your project is, what was it like working together on a contract for your first group project?
It was a valuable work experience to be in a real-life work environment, and we also got to deliver a product that meets business goals and that actual customers will use. We had weekly calls with the client, including people from product, designers, and engineers.
I think that's an awesome first experience when working in a group. So congratulations for that. What did you need to learn to build this project, and how did you go about doing so?
So coming into this project, we'd only been exposed to React Native for about a week. So we actually learned React Native while building this application by reading documentation and researching. And along the way, we found we had to manage our state in a state management system like Redux. So we had to take a deeper dive into learning Redux. And in order to meet the client's styling requirements, we had to learn Flexbox because React Native currently doesn't support a lot of common CSS styling features.
Yeah, that's awesome you were able to figure that out and get that working so well. What was the hardest part of building this project?
Getting the user interface right was a priority in order for our code to meet production quality standards. There are many different expectations when it comes to building a web app versus a native app. By far, the hardest part for me was debugging Redux and React Native. Since there wasn't an in-browser extension like with React, after hours of research and tweaking small things to get to work with Expo, I was finally able to get a debugger working and really make sure the state works for our application.
Yeah, I can see that being the case. Thanks so much. Congratulations. This is a great project. Our next project is Ark Hive that solves an internal problem that students face at Lambda School.
Hello, my name is Patrick Kennedy. Our group is called Ark Hive. We've created a tool which automates streaming content creation, dissemination, archive, and retrieval. Currently, it's a time-consuming and manually cumbersome process to get recordings of Lambda School's Zoom lectures uploaded to YouTube and then to get those links disseminated to students and archived for later reference. Our main goals with our project: one, we want to make it easier for teachers to get recordings of Zoom lectures posted on YouTube. Also, we want to make it easier for students to retrieve links to those lectures. Using the Slack, Zoom, YouTube, and Airtable APIs, we've deployed an automated toolset which allows authorized teachers to launch a Zoom meeting. The Zoom meeting link gets posted in Slack to the specific class's channel. Once the Zoom meeting is done recording, our server application transfers the recording to YouTube. The YouTube link is then posted to the cohort Slack channel, and the meeting is archived for future reference in Airtables. Finally, our toolset lets students retrieve either a chronological listing of all the recorded meetings or Students can search for specific meetings based on tags from our content-based management.
Hi, my name's Tyg Johnson. I helped build the commands in Slack that allow students and teachers to store and access videos more simply. The main issue I focused on solving was the complexity and the number of steps that were involved in working with these videos. First, I'm going to show you the Ark command. By simply typing /ark, a teacher can access a prompt where they can store a video link, a title, optional tags or topics, and the corresponding class or cohort. By then clicking submit, a message will be sent to that channel with the video, corresponding data, and an @channel notification for all those in that channel. This was part of our initial development and the blueprint for our first minimally viable product. Next, we'll take a look at the Hive command. If a student wants to access previously uploaded videos, simply type /hive, enter the desired tag or topic, cohort, sort, and submit. Then a message is sent privately to that student with a corresponding list of videos.
Hi, my name is Lois Truvy. For our project, I mostly worked on integrating all the different Slack/commands to our server. I also helped with a lot of debugging and worked with the automated Zoom integration. I created the basic start Zoom /command. We wanted to limit access to this command to Lambda school staff, so we wrote a function that compares the Slack user ID of the person entering the command and verifies that the user is a member of the private staff channel. If they're not, they will receive a Slack direct message informing them that they are not authorized to use this command. Otherwise, they'll then be redirected through the Google OAuth 2 process, generating a Google authorization link that's sent to the user through a Slack direct message. The link redirects the user to authorize our server to upload videos to the YouTube channel. Once this is completed, the Start Zoom command will work. This step only needs to be completed the first time the user logs in because their session will be saved for future Zoom meetings. When I enter the Start Zoom /command, a dialog box opens up requesting information on the Zoom meeting. There's the title of the lecture, I'll call it React and Redux, the Zoom email address of the host of the meeting, the cohort that will be invited to the Zoom meeting, I'll write CS3, and any tags that should be attached to the video. Once I hit submit, Zoom uses this information to send back a Zoom link for the meeting that is then posted to the appropriate Slack channel. I'm in the CS3 Slack channel, and Zoom sent an @channel notification to the channel with the Zoom link so that now I can join the meeting.
Hi, my name is Evan Allen. My work on Ark Hive focused on building a server API that connects all of the APIs from Slack, Zoom, YouTube, and Airtable, and facilitates the flow of data between them. I will pick up where Lois left off and walk you through the path the data takes and the transformation it goes through as it makes its way from the Zoom meeting to its target destination in Airtable. Lois has already walked you through these steps, and we are now at the point where the video is being recorded and sent to the cloud for processing. Upon completion, Zoom sends a webhook back to our server API. Ark Hive responds by retrieving the media data from Zoom, repackaging it, and uploading it as an unlisted video to our YouTube channel. YouTube then returns the link to the uploaded video and the corresponding metadata to our server API. This triggers 3 events: a delete request to Zoom, a post request to Slack, and a post request to Airtable. The delete request removes the recorded meeting from the Zoom cloud and puts it in the trash. The request to Slack creates a post in the Slack channel that consists of the lecture title, YouTube link, and a notification to everyone in the channel. The request to Airtable repackages the data into its final form and enters it as a new record in the database.
awesome work. I literally have instructors messaging me asking me when we can get this live. So I'm going to ask you that in just a second. But first, this is the group that worked on this project. We have Patrick, Evan, Lois, Tig, and Ryan. And the first question I want to ask is, why was this a problem that you wanted to solve?
Yeah, hi, this is Tig Johnson. So initially, adding and viewing videos and recorded lectures was a very cumbersome and manual process. And Patrick and I were actually in the habit of keeping track of lectures and links on different documents and spreadsheets. And the amount of time and effort that was required to organize this information was pretty unpredictable. So we built Ark Hive to make it more intuitive and simple for both students and teachers to store and view videos.
Awesome. We are so excited to get this live. So when will this project go live for Lambda School students and instructors?
Hi, this is Lois Truby. We're actually working with Lambda School staff to implement this as soon as next week.
Yes. That's awesome. We're very excited. What other features would you add if you had another month to work on the project?
Hey, Evan Allen here. I would improve the way we query Airtable using the Hive command. Our current method of querying Airtable uses all of the content tags and cohort tags entered by the user as query parameters and returns only the records that match all of the parameters. So for example, if you entered React, Redux, CS1, and CS2, a record that only contains the tags React and CS1 would not be returned. While this is a great way to return a concise list of relevant content results to users who know exactly what they're looking for, it's not necessarily ideal for users who are unsure of what they're looking for and would like to cast a wide net and sift through the data themselves. So we would like to make it possible for users to also execute general queries that return results that contain any or all of the tags that are entered as parameters.
Yeah, I think that's a great feature idea. Would love to see that implemented. Thank you so much. Congratulations, Ark Hive. It's no joke when I say we're excited to get this in there and integrated with our other tools for helping manage content. So thank you so much. I want to take just a minute and introduce some of our students who did internships during their capstone project time. And I want to start with Sarah Majors. She did an internship with Nightingale Security, which builds autonomous drones for automated facility monitoring and incident response. So Sarah worked on the software for drone mission planning, which I think is awesome, deployment and video analysis, and contributed code to fixing several bugs and various feature requests to build up the user interface. While she was in this internship, she worked with JavaScript, HTML, PHP, Angular, and a variety of Maps APIs. We also have Patrick Kennedy, who did an internship with VidPresso, which builds software and works with some of the largest brands in the world to make live streams like this one to Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, or Periscope stand out. While Patrick interned with VidPresso, he worked on an authorized user interface on their React front end so that clients can access, view, and download all of their recorded live streams. The Ruby backend interfaces with an S3 server using Postgres, so he got to learn a few new things there as well, on top of what he learned at Lambda School. And next we have Ryan Cheryl, who interned with Pi, which is an ed tech company that focuses on mobile and web apps to teach programming skills. The software, his story for how he landed this internship is pretty great. He was actually going through their content, did their whole JavaScript and C++ curriculum in one night. And while he was going through it, he sent a lot of feedback about curriculum errors and bugs that he found. And the very next day, he received an email asking if he wanted to come and work for them. He told them he was in the middle of attending Lambda School, but they were able to work out an internship, and he's been working there for the last couple months. He worked on a full stack web app to help assess future users of Pi services. He worked heavily with CSS, Sass, and CSS animations, along with React, React Router, Redux, Node, Express, and MongoDB. This next project I want to show you is called StudyBuddy, which is meant to help learning students share their knowledge and also build the knowledge that they have.
Hi, my name is Stephen Ocampo.
Hi, my name is Latoya Smith.
Hello, I'm Leslie Harvey.
And I'm Dan Winslow. And together, we
are Magical Lambda. Together, we built StudyBuddy, a simple app for computer science students to supplement their traditional learning experience.
We discovered that several of us were already writing out flashcards by hand in order to study on the go. And so our group thought that building a portable flashcard tool would serve to constructively put into action all of the concepts we're learning here at Lambda School.
And this way, we could also open source our knowledge with a lot of the other students in the community. And that's something that's really important to us.
We built the program using React. We also used Redux for state management, Node.js for the backend, and MongoDB for the database. We deployed the database and application using Heroku. Our site is now live at www.studybuddy.club. We followed an agile methodology along with using Trello, Slack, Zoom, and GitHub to coordinate our remote programming efforts.
As we demo StudyBuddy, you're going to see some of our key features that we used in the product and some of the things that we focused the most on. To begin with, the student will log in using either Google, GitHub, or Facebook. For right now, we're just going to go ahead and use Google. So we'll log in with the magicallambda@gmail.com.
Once logged in, the student can proceed. Let's click the call to action. And they'll then have the opportunity to choose between many different topics of study. For example, JavaScript, Python, HTML, CSS, React, and many others. Right now, let's take a look at JavaScript.
From there, the student will then be able to further specify the area they wish to study. You can see here that our options are things like closure, recursion, functions, and others.
One of the great things about our flashcards is that all of the data is submitted in basic JSON format. We helped further include functionality where users can submit their own flashcards and answers for a true open source experience.
For right now, let's just pick a general overview. Once selected, we're brought to the flashcard. Here we can see the includes flashcard. And once we move our mouse over the card, it reveals the definition.
So the buttons below, they allow the student to access the next card in the set, or tell the program that they no longer wish to see a specific card. Our application is a work in progress, and the learning algorithm in our final implementation, it's going to be based on proven spaced learning principles, specifically the Leitner technique, whereby cards are reviewed and increased intervals until a concept has been mastered.
From there, we hope to include the functionality where a student can log in, save their progress, and track analytics about how much they've learned.
We will continue implementing other features, including a social feature, which would allow students to work together in real time to learn and grow together.
And that's StudyBuddy. Thank you for taking the time to watch our demo, and we will see you at the top.
Awesome. Thanks so much. That group is made up of Stephen, Latoya, Wesley, and Dan. And the first question I want to ask for you is, what was the biggest challenge of working remotely, and how did you overcome it?
I would probably say one of our biggest challenges of working remotely was coordinating each other's code and schedules, and having to like account for unexpected things such as loss of internet or just total power outages. And so we kept each other connected by using tools such as Slack and pull request on GitHub.
Great. When you ran into something that you hadn't encountered before, what was your next step?
Hello, this is Wesley. When we ran into a problem, we would find a tutorial or a book that described a similar problem. We'd work through it and then attempt to apply it to our project. Often the two would be dissimilar in some respects, and so there would be further research on that difference. And we also found that reading documentation carefully would often reveal nuggets buried deep in the middle, and in just a sentence or two that would solve the problem very quickly.
Hey guys, it's Dan. I'd also like to say on that, if we ever reached a point where we couldn't resolve it on our own, we would reach out, usually to a staff member, a teacher, or another student that just had a little more experience with the technology. We also found that pair programming was an invaluable tool, both for developing the project and making it come together whenever you hit those inevitable potholes. So to summarize, using MDN, RTFM, and seeking help from experienced individuals.
Awesome. Those are all super important skills to learn. What recommendations would you make to future students on capstone projects?
Thanks for asking, Caleb. So I would say, remember that in making these projects, it's more of a marathon than a sprint. Keep your head up and remember to breathe. It may seem really unimportant at the time, but the initial planning that you do before any code is written, that's going to help you more than you can even imagine. You definitely want to learn testing, practice testing, and then apply your testing. And always keep a working solution as you go forward. One of the most important skills in debugging, I would say, is to be able to verbalize the problem that you're experiencing. So use the rubber ducky method, and getting good at this, at creating at verbalizing the problem. It's really going to help you as you construct better Google search queries. Know the right question to ask, and it's a great part of the battle in overcoming the obstacles that you're going to inevitably encounter along the way. Thank you.
Thank you, Stephen. This last group that we want to show you is Speech Trainer, who built an app that helps anyone that is trying to learn how to speak a new language.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining today. My name is Jason Campbell.
I am Jess Yoon.
This is Brian Durbin.
Hi, I'm Manisha. Together we built the Speech Trainer app, a simple app which helps the user to learn English by converting the user's speech to text. The text can be used to analyze the confidence, sentiment, and even shows various options to correct the grammatical mistakes.
The tech stack that we used to build this project included React for the front end, Firebase for authentication, Node and Express for the server side, MongoDB for our database. We also integrated with Web Speech API and the TextGears API.
The original idea for the application was very broad for the time we had to work on it, so we decided to establish a challenging but reachable minimum viable product. We decided we wanted an app that would translate speech to text, have an authentication system, and help the user with their grammar. Now we will go ahead and demo our application. Hope you enjoy.
Awesome. Thanks, Eli. So we're going to go through our demo here, kind of the initial user experience. First thing we're going to take a look at is the authentication. In case you've already registered, we do have a sign-in page, able to go through there, but we're gonna go through the initial sign up, get you to the user homepage. So we do have some security measures in the username and the password, which do show to the user. We'll go through and put a correct email address in, but we'll try a password that's going to be obviously too short. Try to register with that. And as you can see, we do have the authentication telling the user, hey, there's going to be a security issue here, has to be a certain amount of letters, characters. We'll put that in correctly. We'll be able to go forward to the user homepage. Well, Jesh will take over.
Thanks, Jason. So once you register, that'll bring us to our user homepage. And as a group, what we're most proud of is our speech-to-text feature. We took advantage of the Web Speech API to be able to convert your speech into text. And so, for example, if you click the talk button, my mother are a doctor. As you can see, it captures the speech into text. And now taking this a step further, we will take that text and run grammatical analysis on it with text gears, another API. As you can see here, the suggested changes, my mother are, my mother is, and my mother's are. And now Eli will go over the non-speech portions and some other features of our app.
All right, guys, so I will go ahead and talk about the non-speech portions of our application. We decided to add this text box so that a user would be able to type in the text if they prefer to do that over speech. So I will go ahead and demo that. I'm going to type in a sentence. So my mother is a germ. So I'm going to misspell that. And this one as well so that we can see if our app picks it up correctly. So now we go ahead and click on the grammar. And we see the suggested changes. So for example, Isa is probably not the correct usage. So it suggests us to use is, which is correct. And if we keep scrolling down, jarm gets into germ, which is what we're looking for. And finally, doctor, which gets into doctor.
On behalf of the speech trainer team, I want to thank you for your time today. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. Thank you very much.
Excellent. Our speech trainer team is made up of Jason, Jesh, Brian, Manisha, and Eli. And the first question I want to ask your group is, why was this a problem that you wanted to solve?
Hey, this is Jesh. And for people that don't really speak English as their first language, it's kind of hard to look up words when you hear them, when you just hear it in just conversation. And, you don't really know how to spell it. And, it's way easier to just say the word. And so, for example, when I try to spell words that I've heard in Korean, it's pretty hard. And I never get the spelling right. And I can only imagine how hard it must be, for some other people. And, for example, furthermore, my father, he doesn't really speak English too well, and he has an Amazon Echo. And pretty much all he uses that for is the weather, the traffic, and just how to spell words and the definition of words. And it's really good that he can just speak it and it just tells you everything about it.
Great, thank you. When can people start using this project?
Hi, I'm Anisha. So our project is already live. It's deployed on Heroku, and we have a link we can share here, and it's also present on the site. Thank you.
Awesome. So that link is on our alumni showcase. We'll share the link for that a little bit later on. Thank you. What other features would you add if you had more time to work on the project?
Hey, Caleb, this is Jason. So Eli said, and we had a wide scope. We definitely wanted to do a lot of things. Getting everything right and production ready was definitely a focus. So some of the things we wanted to add if we had a little more time, saving speech that we said. So adding speech together, making paragraphs. We have the ability to run some of those checks, the grammatical check on larger amounts of text. One of the things we did have working, but we didn't quite get production ready was refining sentiment analysis. And that was more of a function of the API having some quirks. So I think just some more time with that, maybe try a competing API. We would have been able to get that up as well. And that was another portion of, are we saying something that we are intending? Is it too negative, too positive? The last would be providing substitution words via thesaurus or dictionary. And then to kind of round it out would be the text to speech. So you get it correct, here's how it should be pronounced. So that was kind of, we had another month. We feel like we could probably get to that point.
That's awesome. I'd love to see those features implemented, but overall, this is a great product and really happy with how this turned out. Congratulations. I want to take a minute just to thank everyone. Thank you all so much for attending or watching our first Lambda School demo day. We're really excited about these students for the work that they've done and grateful for the chance that we've had as a Lambda School staff to work with all of them and to continue working with new and incoming students as well. If you're an employer and you would like to find out more about any of these students or email them directly, you can check out our new alumni showcase on our homepage. That's at lambdaschool.com, Lambda, lambdaschool.com. If you'd like to become a hiring partner and get first access to new graduates every month, please contact Jocelyn her email address is jocelyn@lambdaschool.com, JOCELYN @lambdaschool.com, or visit our hiring partner page again at lambdaschool.com. And last, if you're an interested student, remember the Lambda School Academy of Computer Science is an immersive 6-month web development and computer science program that's free until you get a job. We have more programs coming soon, and you can find out more or schedule a free informational interview on our website at lambdaschool.com. Thanks again for coming, and have a great day.
Woohoo!